Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. The 401k big lie. They tell you invest $10,000 a year for 30 years, compounded at 6% annually. You will have a grand total of $245,000 to retire. That is not true. That is not the truth. What they don't tell you is the hidden fees. There's 27 hidden fees in your 401k. When you're all done, you lose half of what you put aside for your retirement. That's right, half. And another thing, you're not allowed to do individual stocks in a mutual fund. And you're not allowed to make money when stocks go down. That's ridiculous. Would you buy a car with just forward and no reverse? Why would you ever be in a fund that you can't make money when the stock market goes down? Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. You know, we come in the morning, we have what we call coffee talk, but we just don't sit around and throw the bull, or joke or laugh. Our coffee talk is serious. Every morning before you start out investing, we have an intense discussion on what is going on and where we should be investing, because it's all about not the money, but where you're putting that money. Join my gang, philsgang.com, and enjoy the best coffee in town.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. Let me ask you, could you use a little extra money? Well, of course you could. Everybody could use that extra revenue to pay the bills, pay down debt, or save for retirement. With philsgang.com, we help you make that extra income in the stock market. For over 15 years, Phil Grande and philsgang.com helps folks who are interested in learning short-term and long-term investing by providing professional-level charting skills and strategies. philsgang.com is your number one source to learn, invest, and profit in the stock market. And you can do this for only $49.95 a month. With philsgang.com, you learn how to invest in the market. You get daily investment coaching guidance, and you will learn to invest and trade with the skills and confidence of the pros. Just log on and get daily investment instructions and make profits. Plus, all philsgang.com material is archived for your convenience. Go to philsgang.com to join or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Call today.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. Go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. There's one thing we're focused on, and that's beating this thing.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Everybody was asking me, how did I know to short forward when it was November? And it was when Aunt B was telling us everything was fine. Well, what people didn't know is Aunt B was lying to us. Because when she was raising the rates, machinery sales were down 5.6%, computers were down 8.7%, communication equipment sales down 21%. I took a look at our chart and I saw that institutions were pulling money out of Ford. So we said, let's short Ford. And we did that in November, on November 10th, because my charts told me there was a big sell signal and we took advantage of it. And you know that stock Ford has now dropped 17%. That's the return my gang has now, 17%. Don't follow any of the jibber jabber from CNBC or the Fed. Follow me. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. There is only one talk show host, Phil Grande, who delivers both social and financial talk. Not even Hannity or Rush can deliver a 1-2 punch like that. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Phil Grande is unique, the industry leader, the first talk show host ever to combine social issues and finance into winning stock market ideas. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
They just told us right away that we're going to house you, we're going to feed you, and every single one of his medical bills is just all taken care of.
They've saved my family from financial ruin. It allowed me and my wife both to focus on the most important thing, which was the health and well-being of our son.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes. And that's what makes St. Jude so magical.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything's been taken care of.
We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. We're ready for the radio show that tells you Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
May non-farm payrolls increased by just 38,000 jobs. The unemployment rate, 4.7%.
Did we hear that right? Let me play that again.
May non-farm payrolls increased by just 38,000 jobs. The unemployment rate, 4.7%.
Wait a minute, 38,000 jobs? We've been averaging 215,000, but yet the unemployment rate goes down with 38,000 jobs? What's going on here? Even worse, listen to this. Remember Yellen the other day when she was bragging about how strong the labor market is? We got to raise rates, cool it off.
The labor market on almost any metric that you could use to evaluate it is really improved.
May non-farm payrolls increased by just 38,000.
Now, do you think she'd be embarrassed? Of course not. She's not embarrassed. Why would she? She's a liberal. Liberals don't get embarrassed. They don't. And when you pin them down, they just scramble off to another subject or something. I mean, there's more excuses going on. It's incredible, isn't it? I told you there was not going to be a raise. They're not going to hike any kind of interest rate in June. It'd be suicide. Remember I said to you, how could they raise rates? When they raised rates in December, we had the worst January in history. They're a bunch of liars. Welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country, off the Wall Street Radio Network. Okay, today is Call-In Friday. If you want to call in, and I'll take a look at one of your stocks. The number is 877-600-4264, 855-745-7445, 855-745-7445. We'll get our numbers straightened out here. One more time, 855-745-7445. That's the correct number if you want to call in. I'll put your stock up on my PT2, color-coded technology. Oh, and by the way, do you remember my 20 ambassadors? A couple weeks ago, I said, I'm just looking for 20 people. I'm going to prove to them that the PT2 with the color-coded technology, where it simply identifies when the institutions, the hedge funds, the pension funds, the mutual funds, the 5 largest banks in the country, when they're putting money into a stock, it will turn green. When they're taking money out, it turns red. It sounds so simplistic, it doesn't sound real. And I understand that. So I said, I will take 20 people, join the gang, and for the first month, I'll give you the PT2, complimentary. And then at the end of 4 weeks, we'll shut it off unless you want to continue with it. But you're going to not shut it off because you're going to love it. It's going to work. And I said, I want to follow retail stocks that got clobbered. And I said, a couple of the retail stocks that I want to follow are Macy's and J.C. Penney's. And guess what? J.C. Penney just turned green today, so you still have time to join the gang. That's right. Okay, let's get back to these job numbers. What is going on? Well, first of all, it's ridiculous. This 37,000, 38,000. I mean, I believe they took the number, they financially engineered it with the discouraged. Let me explain. Discouraged workers. They came out and said we have 38,000 jobs. That's the worst monthly job growth in 5 years, while claiming a decline in the unemployment rate to 4.7 from 5. Now, they got that number because they threw in more discouraged workers. The more discouraged workers you throw in, that's how they get the unemployment rate down. That's what Trump has been saying. He says, this is so phony, you got to include the discouraged workers. There's 5 million of them. You got to, so that you give the public, you give the American people the truth. So everybody's going in the same direction. Instead of you got people say, oh, look at this, the unemployment rate's really only 4.7%. So half the nation's spending money and doing things they shouldn't be doing. While the other half who believes and says, hey, no, the unemployment rate's really 18%. They're cutting back. They're doing what they have to do. So you've got to get everybody going in the same direction instead of pulling. To straighten out this country, everybody's got to know the truth. So everybody's going in the same direction with the same goals, and that we can pull ourselves out of it. But the politicians are a bunch of liars. See? So, again, what they did is they turned around and they just really decided this time, crank up the discouraged. And that's how they got down to 4.7. Because so all you'll hear all weekend and going into this election season, do you see this? The unemployment rate's only 4.7%. It dropped from 10%, and that's because of Obama's policies. And Hillary Clinton is going to continue with Obama's policy. That's why you have to go along with Hillary and vote for Hillary to continue this wonderful unemployment. Look, we're down to only 4.7%. I'm going to take a caller. We have 2 calls. We have Jeff and Elijah. And Elijah, how are you, Elijah?
Hello, can you hear me?
I got you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for taking the call.
No problem.
So I just wanted to ask about Apple stock for long position.
Okay, Apple. All right. Are you long or short?
I'm long.
You're long. Okay, fine. All right. Right now, where did you get in?
93.75.
Okay, great. All right. Now, don't do anything. Don't add to your position. And it held up pretty good today until it gets above $102, $102. Once it gets above that 102, then you get rid of a lot of the resistance there, a lot of the selling bases in there, in that area. So please don't do anything till you get above that 102. Okay?
Okay, great. Thanks.
Right, very good. And then we got Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Bill. How you doing?
I'm doing just great.
I'm thinking about Microsoft buying it in for the long term.
Okay, buying. Okay. It's just starting to set up nicely here. It's just starting to set up nicely. We got everything just coming together. It's a little early to buy it now, but I would suspect by the time we get over around $53.50, because it just turned green on our PT2. It's been green for about 5 days. So I would say if it gets above $53.55, I'd a buyer.
Okay. Well, what a wonderful service. Thank you. And is it something that we could short too?
You can't short it now. No, the short's done.
But in the future.
Yeah, in the future, sure you could, but we're on the bottom of the cycle. We're on the part of the cycle where we buy now. There's 4 stages to the stock. Every stock has 4 stages. This is in the stage where you start buying. And then when it reaches the top of the cycle, which is stage 3, that's when you start shorting it as stage 3. But you're at the beginning of stage 2.
Okay.
Okay, very good.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for your call. Okay, so what's going on? Well, let's go back and what were we told? What were we told? We were lied to. We were lied to, right? She tells us the labor market's improving. It never improved. It hasn't improved. And let's think about this for a moment. Remember when Obama came out and he told us the same thing, and he's saying how wonderful manufacturing's doing?
In fact, we've seen more manufacturing jobs created since I've been president than any time since the 1990s. That's a fact.
Now, so the two of them are coming out. They're both lying because they got to get Hillary elected. Now the numbers come out today. Guess about the manufacturing numbers just came out today. More manufacturing numbers. You won't believe these numbers. They both have egg on their face. I'll give you the numbers when we return from the break. Join my gang, Phil's Gang, 877-600-GANG.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Our best 2-year job creation streak in 20 years.
What are you, nuts? Who'd believe that? Let me tell you the truth. First of all, the 292,000 jobs we got in December 2015, and they told us the unemployment rate is 5%. Not true. You can't trust these people on Wall Street. You can't trust the press. What they don't count is, in December, for example, the 615,000 discouraged workers. A discouraged worker is a person unemployed, gave up looking for work, but this administration does not count them as unemployed when calculating the 5% unemployment rate. Instead, they classify the discouraged as marginally attached to the labor force, but they're not considered part of the labor force or part of the unemployment. That's why you can't trust what they tell you. If we back into 625,000, the real unemployment rate is 12%, not 5%. That's why you got to join my gang, where you get the truth and where we use charts. Join the gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Listen to what Fisher said, the former Fed governor.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish the wealth effect.
That's right. Did you hear that? They took the stock market, front-loaded it, ran it 200%, so we ended up not only with a fake stock market, but fake GDP, fake money, fake jobs, fake prices, fake everything. But we took advantage of that, and we're going to take advantage again. That's why I told my gang in May to short the market on 5/29. That's May 29th. I'm telling you to short the stock market. And we were right. And the market went down over 11%. That's why you got to join my gang and learn how to short stocks just as much as buying them. Learn how to short with me, Phil Grande at philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. We're a teaching format, and boy, do we give good service. You know, buying a stock doesn't have to be complicated. The reason why Wall Street makes it complicated is so to make you think you need to hire them. You can do better without them, believe me, because you're not going to have those big fees. Come to Phil's Gang, where we'll show you an easy way to buy a stock. philsgang.com, where we don't make it complicated, but profitable.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, it's been 7 years now since Obama ordered his Fed chairman to lower the savings rate from 5% to less than 0.25%. With a false narrative, it would spur economic growth and jobs. Everyone would have an opportunity in this economy. That's what he said. But what it spurred was a front-loading of the biggest, fake, unsustainable stock market rally of 200%. That's what it spurred. Now, most people did not participate in that rally because people got out of their 401k in 2009. And they said, just get me out. I want nothing but fixed income. And they got killed because with low interest rates, fixed incomes get murdered. You got to know what you're doing. If you're going to really retire, you got to be associated with the stock market. That's why you come to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. Go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. There's one thing we're focused on, and that's beating this thing.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Aren't you tired of all the nonsense you hear from these financial shows like this?
Should I be worried about Bear Stearns in terms of liquidity and get my money out of there? No, no, no. Bear Stearns is fine.
And then they went bankrupt. This is what I'm talking about. This is crazy. Your 401k, they take half of all the money you put away. Look, it's not about the money you're saving. It's about where you invest it and not in a 401k. Join my gang. Start using charts. I'll teach you how to use a chart so that you can maximize your returns on the money you do have. And the earlier you get started, the better. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Stock Corner is brought to you by the Phil's Gang video channel. Go to
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. There we go. We're having a little trouble. That's okay. I'm a professional. I can handle the press. I can handle the pressure. I can handle it just fine. Okay. We're back. We're back. Yes. Okay. My crack team got me back on the air. All right. Let's start with these numbers. They stink. I told you they're all lying. They're all lying. And finally it comes out today. We've been lied to. Obama's saying he's created more manufacturing jobs than anybody since 1990, in fact. Well, his own BLS came out today and said he's full of BS. Since December 2014, the U.S. added 455,000 waiters and bartenders while losing 10,000 manufacturing workers. This is his own government. This is the BLS. This is his agency. And over the last 4 months, he lost another 54,000 jobs just in the last 4 months. And since 2009, the day he took office, he has now fewer jobs in manufacturing than the day he took office by 475,000. Now, what does that tell you? That tells you that our economy, the high-paying jobs that hold this economy up, they're gone. So what they've been doing since 2009, instead of focusing on productivity, instead of focusing on creating good jobs, good paying jobs, he went out and he focused on building a welfare empire with this stupid Obamacare, which turned everybody's full-time job into a part-time job because employers didn't want to have to pay the health care. What a stupid idea that was. He's the president. I said yesterday, his legacy is the part-time president. That's what's going to be his legacy. And he killed the economy because he put everybody on part-time. That's the problem, because employers weren't going to pay for it. I mean, imagine he says to the employers, here's what I'm going to do, employers. If you want to pay somebody's insurance, health insurance, you're not going to have to if it's 30 hours or under. Now, what do you think the employer is going to do? Say no? Of course they all took that. They said, well, we're going to make sure that we're going to put everybody who's now working over 40 hours, we're going to put them down under 30 or less. And that destroyed our country. We have the part-time jobs push you right into poverty. Let's take a caller, and then we'll do more of these numbers. It's just amazing. Lloyd, and then we got Steve. Lloyd, go ahead, Lloyd.
Okay, thanks for taking my call, Phil.
Okay, VIP.
Yes.
All right, what's your position right now?
Well, right now I just went in with a scout. I have 50 shares at 381.
Okay, 381. Okay, good. Very good. Very good. Okay. Now, the PT2 just turned green here, and you got some money coming in. I'll tell you what I would do. Let's wait. Don't add to your position on this stock until you get to about if you can get up to around just a little bit above $4, let's say about $4.06. By then, if you get above there, then you got enough institutional money coming in to carry it. So I wouldn't put any. If you do, you can put a little in, but don't go crazy. You know what I mean? That's that break point where you got a lot of buyers, where a lot of buyers will come in. Okay, and that's what I'm seeing on the chart. All right.
Okay. Do you have time for just one more?
No, I only have to take one. Just one.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lee. Steve, how are you, Steve?
How you doing?
Good. GDX, right?
Correct.
Okay, GDX. Now, gold, of course, I had our gang members start buying gold back in December. And in fact, right now our GDX is up over 86%. Now, GDX, are you going to get in it now for the first time, or is this to add on?
Well, I was thinking about getting in for the first time on a short.
Oh, on a short. Okay. Yeah, all right. Now, it's not ready to short right now. Now, let me tell you what happened today. Today, because when they had such a bad job number, the dollar tanked, spiked down. That moved gold up, that spiked up. But yet, my chart is telling me that there's not enough institutions buying it where it can sustain the gap up. So why don't you wait, and if it gets down below, it's got to break $21.75, and then you start shorting it. But don't short it until it breaks there, okay?
That sounds great. Thank you.
Okay, have the patience. Okay. All right, that's about it. Good. We got all our callers. Again, I also want to talk about, don't forget, my book. We have plenty of books, Walter's Way, and it's only a $15 book. It's a wonderful book about a wonderful man, Walter Scheer, and it's an award-winning book, the Silver Axiom Business Book Award. He got that in 2016. He's an incredible entrepreneur. I want to introduce you to him. This book is wonderful, and here's the thing. Every penny of this book goes to the Vera and Walter Scheer Foundation in St. Jude. You're going to read about the man who gave you the fax machine, okay? I mean, it gave you so much more. Let me tell you about this man. You haven't ever met a man with such integrity, such an incredible human being. I mean, you'll just fall in love with him. And what he went through in his life to get where he is just incredible. Everybody else would have gave up, but he just kept going. So go to my site, philsgang.com, and pick up the book, Walter's Way. It's $15, and it goes to charity. Now, all right, let's finish up what we got going here, because this is very important. I want to make sure we get across what has happened today with these jobs. 38,000 jobs. I believe, as I said in the beginning, that I believe they ratchet up the discouraged workers to 664 so they could drop the unemployment rate, because they know people will remember the unemployment rate. Just like people look at the stock market when they shouldn't. They look at the stock market to judge how good the economy is doing. When they hear the stock market is up 500 points, they think, boy, the economy is doing good. The stock market has nothing to do with how good the economy is doing. It's productivity. But they also know that people look at the stock market to identify wrongly how well the economy is. But they also know in this election year, all they'll remember, oh, the unemployment rate's down to 4.7. Is that Obama brought it from 10 down to 4.7? They financially rigged that number to get it down to the 4.7. They didn't care about the other numbers. We'll talk more when we get back. Join my gang.
For more information on this show, go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. There's so much bad news out there. Let me give you some good news. The good news is you can retire when you're 65 years of age. You can live the same lifestyle you've come accustomed to, but you're going to have to make a change. And what's that change? To get rid of your 401k. It's a scam. It doesn't work. We've never seen more people pulling their money out of 401ks than right now. $40 billion just in this last few quarters, because they know it doesn't work. So they're taking their money and stuffing it in the mattress. That's not what to do. Look, it's not about the money you put away. It's about how you invest that money. And clearly 401ks don't work. But it does work here at Phil's Gang. philsgang.com, where we just got a return of over 35% in copper.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Even if the federal funds rate were to return to near zero, the FOMC would still have considerable scope to provide additional accommodation.
Accommodation, what's that mean? It simply means printing money. What she's saying is the economy's terrible. We're going to claw back that 25% or 0.25% interest rate hike that we did in December. And I'm going to print a whole bunch of money so that we can give it to companies to buy their own shares back so they can boost the stock market higher. The problem with that money is 0%. That means that people lose their jobs. They go from full-time to part-time. From part-time, they go to poverty. That's the problem. We can't keep doing this. Here's the point. When the market is going up, it's always when the economy is bad. Join my gang, philsgang.com, so you can participate.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande, philsgang.com. I'm going to tell you something about your 401k that you don't know. You know the 401k is a tax code? That's what it is. Here's how it worked. In the 80s, you had pension funds, but they decided to give their CEOs a benefit on top of the pension. It was called 401k. That was to shelter their income. That way they could keep the CEOs because it was very competitive. But when all the jobs were shipped overseas, they no longer could keep pension funds. Too expensive. So they shifted all their employees to a 401k, duping you, thinking it was a good deal. But what they did is they charged hidden fees, which amount to about $250 billion a day, that they gave to lobbyists to go to Washington to make sure that this 401k would never be transparent. Here's what came of it.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
That's right. So join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Listen to this contradiction.
February existing home sales down 7.1%.
American consumers, they have more cash on hand.
What a contradiction. Matter of fact, all the information you get from all the different financial programs, it's all contradiction, but here at Phil's Gang, I will tell you the truth. Join my gang, philsgang.com. You will enjoy it.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. It's 877-600-4264.
They just told us right away that we're going to house you, we're going to feed you, and every single one of his medical bills is just all taken care of.
They've saved my family from financial ruin. It allowed me and my wife both to focus on the most important thing, which was the health and well-being of our son. We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes. And that's what makes St. Jude so magical.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything will be taken care of. We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. You know, we come in the morning, we have what we call coffee talk, but we just don't sit around and throw the bull. Or joke or laugh. Our coffee talk is serious. Every morning before you start out investing, we have an intense discussion on what is going on and where we should be investing, because it's all about not the money, but where you're putting that money. Join my gang, philsgang.com, and enjoy the best coffee in town.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. This segment is brought to you by Phil's Talking Trader Stock Charts.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, the market this morning was down about 150 points, something like that. And I said to my gang, they're going to run the market back up. Now listen how this works. Okay, so we get a bad jobs number, terrible number. Now everybody thinks, wow, the market's going to go down. Things are so bad. No, just the opposite happens. Just the opposite happens. Because what they do, the banking cartel, And remember, the market is always about the banking cartel. It's called the Federal Reserve. It's not a Federal Reserve. It's not federal agencies. They're private banks. It's the commercial banks all over the world. There's one big bank, bunch of crooks. And they're always going to make sure the market works for them. Okay? They always get rich. So that's why if you use a chart, you're following them. Stop listening to all the noise. Okay, never mind the market cap of a stock or the trailing PE and the price of the book and the profit, all this stuff. Forget about it. So here's what they're going to do. They're going to do QE. I've been saying that. I said they're not going to do a rate hike, and they're going to do QE. But here's what's going on. So we have our factory orders are so bad. They've now posted its 18th consecutive annual decline. 18th. How does he have the nerve to say this?
In fact, we've seen more manufacturing jobs created since I've been president.
So why would they create jobs when factory orders have now posted its 18th consecutive annual decline? They just lie. Remember, this is the same guy that said we could keep our doctor. He's going to have the most transparency president. All this nonsense. Now, so when you lose high-paying jobs like that, you can't have a recovery. So they just lie about the recovery. There is no recovery. Now, to get Hillary elected, there is no question Aunt B will have no choice but to use QE. What is QE? QE is where they go and they get the printing machine out and they print all kinds of money and they go in and they buy $80 billion a month worth of 10-year treasuries. The Federal Reserve, the banking cartel, buys all these treasuries, so the yield drops. And when the yield drops, anybody who buys bonds knows that's bad. They don't want the investment, and they shift into stocks. That's the first trick they do. And with QE, they turn around, they print more money, and they stick in the stock market like they did with QE1, QE2, the twist, and QE3, another $3.2 trillion to push the stocks up. Then they print another $5.2 trillion to give to the CEOs of companies and say, look, we don't want your stocks coming down. Keep pushing your stocks up. And out of the QE1, QE2, twist, and QE3, remember, only 5% of the people made any money. Small segment of the population, the richest 5% made the money. Their personal portfolios went up by 40%. The aggregate wealth that went up was about $1.2 trillion. They're the ones who made money. This is what it's all about. So you want to follow them. That's where you want to make money with them. Just like I said to you the other day, and I begged for 20 people. I said, 20 ambassadors, follow us now with Macy's, follow us with JCPenney. Every day, you just follow us. Take 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes, 1 minute. 1 minute. Everything's archived. Go to your site, just 1 minute. And follow us. Now, right now, we just got Macy's and JCPenney, they're just starting to run. We just saw today how we had on JCPenney just starting to turn green today. Just starting to turn green. So please try it. Just try it. It's not too late. I begged you with GDX to do that. So let's get back to QE. So what they did in 2009, they had in 2008 rather. December 2008, they started QE because the banks were in a free fall. Bernanke had to force the Saudis and the Chinese out of the bond market and into the stock market to drive those stocks back up. So he forced them. Now, here's the lie. So Bernanke comes out and says, well, the reason for QE, and this is what you're going to hear in a few weeks from Aunt B, the reason for QE is to push yields down on the treasuries. It will boost stock values. In turn, that will create jobs and drive capital investment, and people will increase consumption. It's a win-win-win. That was a big lie. First of all, by taking and printing money and buying all the 10-year treasuries to drop the yield down, to push the Saudis and the Chinese and other countries out of the bond market into the stock market, for heaven's sakes, where is the value there? There is no stock value. You don't get stock value by printing money, for God's sakes, and then buying stocks. That's called inflation. There's no value there. So he lies. There's no stock value because the price hike was not because of earnings growth. Instead, the stock went up because the banking cartel printed $85 billion every month to buy these treasuries. I am sorry, there is no stock value there. And when they do that, when those yields go down, it's an unattractive investment, the bonds, and they buy stocks. But there's no value. Next, he says it creates jobs. Really? Obama claimed he created more manufacturing jobs since he's been president, since the 1990s. Every day, and we found today, right? Came right from BLS. Since December 2014, he had added 455,000 waiters and bartenders while losing 10,000 manufacturing jobs. And over the last 4 months, another 54,000. Factory orders. Terrible. I just told you, they posted its 18th consecutive annual decline. Now, how on earth can they tell us that this QE is a good thing? It's not a good thing. It's not. Now, he said that your people with QE, this would now create capital investment. Really? Bernanke claimed QE would increase capital investment. Companies would go out and buy buildings and machineries and computers and communication equipment. And guess what? Know where we are today with that? The biggest decline in 7 years. A total lie. Bernanke also claimed that QE increased consumption by consumers. No, it didn't. Consumption has decreased, not increased. And the proof is, look at durable goods. It's the best indicator because a durable good is a big ticket item. A durable good is like washers and refrigerators and televisions and medical equipment and furnitures and sporting goods and mobile phones and all that stuff. And guess what? We're at a 5-year low in sales. So that's a lie. That's a lie. So what did Aunt B do? She knows that this economy is being propped up. She knows the stock market is so propped up that it will retrace back at least 50%. She's panicked because now her job is to get Hillary elected and she's got to keep the market up. So what is she going to do? She's going to introduce QE. Exactly what Bernanke did, and she's going to tell us the same story. It creates jobs. It increases consumption. It's capital investment. And it didn't do any of it. It didn't do any of it. It's a lie. So Aunt B just panicked last week. She said, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Well, she decided to do the same thing that she always does, lie. When the institutions were pulling out $55 billion, she decided, and she panicked because she saw all this money coming out of the stock market, and she knew that she was just 4% away from making, can you imagine? We're 4% away from making all-time new highs in the stock market when we have the worst economy ever because it's been financially engineered, because they front-loaded this rally since 2009, and it's a big bubble, just like the dot-com, just like the housing com, and this is where you can create all kinds of wealth on the way back down if you're smart. So she knows that this market could sell off any time. So she goes back to her lie and she says, I can't get American investors. I'll go to the European investors because those poor guys, they even putting their money in the bank. They got to pay to put their money in the bank. So she starts saying, hey, we got a great economy. We got strong labor, so strong I'm going to raise interest rates. And they came over here and they started to buy stocks. So they had to first sell their euros to buy the dollars to buy stocks. You can buy stocks in dollars. You can't buy them in euros. Now what are they thinking? Real problem. So here's what she has no choice. Quantitative easing is coming. You saw what it did. It rallied this market over 120%. Join my gang and catch the quantitative easing. Call now. 877-600-GANG.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. The 401k big lie. They tell you invest $10,000 a year for 30 years, compounded at 6% annually. You will have a grand total of $245,000 to retire. That is not true. That is not the truth. What they don't tell you is the hidden fees. There's 27 hidden fees in your 401k. When you're all done, you lose half of what you put aside for your retirement. That's right, half. And another thing, you're not allowed to do individual stocks in a mutual fund. And you're not allowed to make money when stocks go down. That's ridiculous. Would you buy a car with just forward and no reverse? Why would you ever be in a fund that you can't make money when the stock market goes down? Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, there's nothing worse than you're investing in a stock and during the day something happens and you don't know what to do. You don't know who to call. Or you call somebody and they just give you a bunch of BS. Not here at Phil's Gang. We value every gang member. During the day, you got a question about your stock, you contact us. We have the best service in the world. philsgang.com. You're not alone. You're a gang member.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. The 401k big lie. They tell you invest $10,000 a year for 30 years, compounded at 6% annually. You will have a grand total of $245,000 to retire. That is not true. That is not the truth. What they don't tell you is the hidden fees. There's 27 hidden fees in your 401k. When you're all done, you lose half of what you put aside for your retirement. That's right, half. And another thing, you're not allowed to do individual stocks in a mutual fund. And you're not allowed to make money when stocks go down. That's ridiculous. Would you buy a car with just forward and no reverse? Why would you ever be in a fund that you can't make money when the stock market goes down? Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Every single one of his medical bills, everything is just all taken care of.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes.
At St. Jude, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. When was the last time you've gotten a raise? It's been a long time. When was the last time you got overtime? That's been a long time. Sure, why? What people don't realize is we got two components out there that is killing your standard of living. Free money provided to CEOs from the Federal Reserve, and then the way the CEO is being compensated. CEOs are not compensated on performance anymore. CEOs are compensated on stock options. That's how they make most of their money. So as long as the Federal Reserve will give them money free, they're going to focus on the CEO buying shares back to pop that price up to make that stock option. That's why you're not getting paid. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. This segment is brought to you by philsgang.com.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Listen what Bernanke said in 2010 when everybody started to quiz him. He said, wait a minute, you've been doing this quantitative easing since 2008, December. And there's no jobs being created. There's no capital investment by companies. And by the way, when companies make money, they don't put it in equipment. They take the money and they go and borrow more money, and then they go and they buy their own shares to push the stock price up so the CEOs can get rich. Even if a company has good profits, they never invest in capital investment anymore. Never. They don't. That's why our plants are getting older, our machines are getting older, our rolling stocks are getting older. We can't compete. And because of our high debt, our high national debt, we can't even fix our roads. We can't even fix our roads so that we can bring people in from other countries to set up a company here. They look at our roads. They say, well, my God, I'm going to lose a truck in that road. Not my tires. I'll lose my whole truck. They fly into the airports. Boston, anywhere. What is this? They think they're getting, when they get out of the plane, they think they're in Iraq or Zimbabwe, somewhere in Africa. Third world country. It's incredible. Everybody, the top people The 5%, the very wealthy, the bankers in this country are getting so rich, and this is what Trump keeps saying. They're getting so rich, while our infrastructures are falling apart, our schools are falling apart, and then they come out and lie. So listen to this. Here's his lie.
The purpose of the monetary policy easing is not to increase stock prices per se. The purpose is to strengthen the U.S. economy.
See, that's a lie. The purpose is to strengthen the stock price, and she will start another quantitative easing. I don't want you to miss it. It does not strengthen the economy. I just gave you the numbers. Our consumption, he said, well, people get a lot of new jobs. We don't have new jobs. We have 2.8 million fewer jobs now than when they put in the QE. So how can they say that? That's a lie. We have 475,000 fewer manufacturing jobs than when they put in QE. That's a lie. They said there's going to be a lot of capital investment. Companies are going to buy machinery and forklifts and new trucks and computers. There they don't. Our capital investment is unbelievable. It's tanking. It's falling off the cliff. It looks like a flying crowbar, for God's sakes. So what do? Follow the money. The gangsters, they're making money. So you don't buy a stock because of the margins. You don't even buy stocks anymore because of the earnings, because you can't trust them. You buy a stock when you see on my chart it turns green, because it tells you the institutions, it tells you the mutual funds, the pension funds, the 5 biggest banks are buying. So when I say, okay, with our PT2, our gang had an 86% gain in the gold stocks, mining stocks. And listen to this. Where's that cut today? They're talking about mining stocks today. And listen to this. You tell them, they're so late, it's incredible. Listen.
Convinced that you're going to walk in one day, gold's going to be up $50, everybody's going to say to fade it, and then the next day the same thing's going to happen. People are waking up to the fact that the physical gold market is as strong as it's been in my lifetime, and there's something different going on.
Just waking up. We woke up in December. Here, GDX up 86%. AU, these mining stocks, up 100%. AUI, up 185%. Now we're trying to do the same thing with the retail stocks. They collapsed. So here's the bottom line. They have to get Hillary elected. They know everybody looks at the stock market to identify if the economy is doing well. And that's why people look at the market and we're 2% from an all-time historic high, and people saying, I don't feel it. I'm broke. I can't even raise $500 to get my car fixed. Because the market has been financially engineered to go up 120%. So they come in and lie and tell us, well, quantitative easing did that. No, it didn't. All it did, yes, it moved the stock market, but didn't give us jobs. It didn't help the economy with consumption. It didn't help the economy with business investment. It didn't create any jobs at all. Everything's geared to move the stock market up, and you're stuck in some mutual fund. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. And then they just keep lying to us. It's unbelievable. Listen to this.
I think it's more fundamental. I mean, we've seen deceleration in the economy in the service data this morning, also in the downward revisions to the prior 2 months employment numbers, and manufacturing is effectively near or in recession in the United States, certainly in it around the world. So,
okay, did you hear what we just said? Manufacturing's in a recession. Everybody knows that except Obama.
In fact,
I don't want to play it again. He doesn't know that. Now, let's talk about these discouraged workers. And this is why you got to join my gang. You got to join the gang. Look, I can't guarantee you that you're going to be up 86% again in GDX or 100%, 185% in AUI. But I can guarantee you one thing. You join the gang and use the charts the way I teach you, you're going to get a square deal. You get a square deal, and then you'll start making money consistently. Not in the beginning. It takes time. It takes time and patience. But the beautiful thing with the PT2 chart, you don't have to take any time away from the C-SPAN or the sports stations or all the stuff you guys look at. ESPN, there's 500 channels now, ESPN. Every time I go click through it to get to something, I fall asleep. There's so many of them. Because they want to keep your brain, they just want to they want to occupy your brain with sports so you don't think about anything else. All right, look, I love sports, don't get me wrong. Discouraged. The biggest failure of this administration is we have 5 million people who left the workforce. We had 600,000 people today. They would have never booked the 600,000. The only reason why they booked it, as I said, it drops the unemployment rate down to 4.7%. That's how they got it from 10% down to 4.7%. Everybody who drops out and says, I'm not looking for a job, we got 5 million. They're not counted as unemployed. That's how they get the trick from 10% down to 4.7%. So the 5 million discouraged workers, these people aren't employed. They're not even looking for a job. How bad is that? They're not even looking for a job. They're not even part of the workforce. Why? Because this administration never worked on creating jobs, participating, make sure the small businesses, that the government created an environment. He made sure that the government didn't create an environment for small businesses. That was the prescription to fix our illness. All he had to do is create an environment for small businesses, for entrepreneurs. Get out of our way. But no, he blocked us because he wanted to build Obamacare. So the discouraged group, as I say, is not counted. So if you did, the unemployment rate would probably be minimum 18%. Now, Aunt B is right when she says, at a glance, the labor market looks remarkably strong. At a glance, it does. But when you get underneath it and you take a look at the real jobs, what are the real full-time jobs? We have very few. They're all part-time. They're all part-time. There is nothing worse than part-time jobs. Nothing. So this morning I'm listening, and they're really dumping on Trump. Joe in the morning. I couldn't believe how they're dumping on Trump this morning. Listen to Mika.
I actually thought she did a great job. I will tell you, when I watched that speech, I sat up straight and I listened to every word. I thought that was incredible.
So she's talking about how Hillary yesterday trashed Trump for about an hour. And she's saying what a wonderful speech. Barnacle, who lost his job at the Boston Globe what do you call it when you copy somebody else's material? Plagiarism. He's there said, yeah, that's right. Yeah, what a wonderful speech. Not once did they mention anything about Meekin or anybody else, how Hillary allowed us to be pushed around all over the world by China, Iran, Russia, and we just paid over $2 billion to release those Navy, remember the 10 crew members of the Navy boat? We just paid $1.7 billion rather. Unbelievable. Ransom? Us? Hey, join my gang, Phil's Gang.
Listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me to make my dreams.
Why not?